I'm Mandy Tanner, and today we're going to make some decorative pie crust that you can use on any type of pie. So our dough is rolled out to about an 1/8 inch thickness, and we're going to start with a lattice technique. Now there's a couple different tools that you can use. This accordion is great because you can set it to different widths and then roll it along the dough and it'll cut it very evenly. You can also use a pizza cutter and do the same technique. And if you don't have those tools, an old-fashioned knife will do the job just fine. So our strips are ready to go, and we're going to cover this beautiful mixed berry pie. I'm going to start from the center, and I like to place the strips over the top. And I'll place a few in one direction. And I always use the middle portion to cover the middle of the pie because it's the widest diameter. And then I'll leave a few for going the other way. As we get to the outside of the pie, I'll start using the shorter pieces. And here's where it gets fun. Every other piece I'm going to lift back. And we'll start laying strips in the opposite direction. And when I do that, I will place the strips back over the top of the pie, continuing to make a lattice pattern. So I have my beautiful basket weave lattice fruit mixed berry pie, and I'm going to trim off some of the excess just using a knife, cutting down around the edges. And there's a couple different ways to crimp the edges, and I'll show you a few different techniques. But first off, I'm going to use a fork just to press around the edges, and you get a nice little indentation, kind of a decorative design. Any of the extra that I missed, I will just peel off. And here is our finished mixed berry lattice pie. Now this time I'm going to show you a little more decorative technique of braiding. It looks really cool and cut as small as possible. And I might actually make them a little bit thinner for the braid. And you're going to braid it just like you do hair. So for a braided pie, we're going to take our 3 strips and place the one from the left towards the middle, then the right towards the middle, and continue along. And so we will have a beautiful braided piece. And I don't like to braid the entire top of the crust. I'll probably use some lattice in this pie crust as well and just have 1 or 2 decorative braided strips. So now that we have the braids done, we are going to continue with the process that we did for the previous lattice pie. All right, and again, I'm going to trim around the outside for any long pieces. So this time I'm going to pinch and crimp. So just going to use my fingers to pinch the edges. And you just want to make sure that the dough seals together so it doesn't go floating around and ruining your beautiful design. And here is our beautiful braided blueberry pie. And we're going to move on. I've got a strawberry pie, and I should show you how to transfer it. If you've put your pie crust, if you've already rolled it out and put it in the fridge, an easy way to transfer it is to get it up onto your rolling pin and then just lift your rolling pin like this and make sure you're on the outside of the pie and there's just kind of unroll it over the top. So at this point, I'm going to start tucking under the edges of the dough. This one's cracking a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to pinch it all together anyway. So I'm going to tuck it. So now that we've tucked under the edges of our extra pie crust, you can do a couple different techniques. You can use a knuckle to pinch it together. Again, you can use the fork like we did earlier. You can use a thumb and another finger, and that'll give it more of a ribbon looking edge. Let's guess. Ruffle, that's what it is. It's a ruffle, not a ribbon. So now we have our beautiful ruffled edges for our pie. And what we need to do next is poke some vents in the top so the air can escape. So you can do a couple different designs. I like to do kind of a star shape. I did 6, doesn't matter how many, you just need a little area for the hot air to escape when the pie is baking. Here is our strawberry pie. We've got our vents, and next we need to put some egg wash on it. So this is just an egg that I beat with a little whisk, and I've got a pastry brush, and the importance of an egg wash is to give it that shiny color when you bake it. If you didn't egg wash your pie, there's not a problem with that, but you're not gonna get this shiny, glossy, deep golden brown color that the egg wash adds. We're also going to sprinkle it with a little bit of turbinado sugar to give it some texture and crunch as well. So turbinado sugar or natural sugar is just a little bit thicker than your household granulated sugar. And you just take it and sprinkle it over, and it'll give a nice sugary crunch, and you'll also see a little more golden color when it bakes. Kind of tends to caramelize a little bit. And here we have our strawberry pie. Here are all of our beautiful completed pies with showing a couple different techniques. Thanks for watching.